I'm the Reverend Karen Schomburg, and today I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about power and vulnerability. The Episcopal Church highly values welcome. The motto is the Episcopal Church welcomes you. At St. Mark's, we say all are welcome, and we mean it. And inviting people into our church to worship with us is a kind, warm, and loving good thing to do. But there's something I would like you to consider for a moment today. When we invite people into our church to worship, when they walk through our doors, they are walking onto our turf. These are our prayer books, our hymnals, the way we do Holy Eucharist. This is our community that have known each other for a long time. We have insider jokes. We have Episcopal special words for things. The visitor feels vulnerable, and he looks to the host as someone who's actually in power, at least for that moment. Now, Jesus always challenged power and the status quo. He wanted to make sure that even the most vulnerable among us had access. Today, in our gospel reading, we find Jesus is at the very end of a long teaching where he's preparing the disciples to go out and declare the good news. He tells them that they are to go out and cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons, and heal the sick. He tells them that they are to declare the good news that he is the Messiah, that God is love, and that all of God's children are beloved children of God. This is a message that may or may not be well received. In addition, he tells them that that following the way is not necessarily a way that all people will want to do, because you must pick up your cross and follow Jesus. And if you pick up your cross, that means you are standing like Jesus is standing, in solidarity with those who are on the margins and the edges of society. Those that empire has determined not worthy of being even considered human. Jesus says this is not an easy task, but he's sending them out in a very vulnerable way. He says, no extra money, no extra clothes, no extra food. You're to go out and to just rely on the Holy Spirit to guide you in what you say and in where you go. To be completely open and vulnerable to the Spirit. And you are to declare the good news, and if people accept it, they will be accepting Jesus. And if they accept Jesus, they are accepting the one who sent Jesus. In other words, Jesus is telling the disciples, God has got your back in this. Do not be afraid. Well, we all like to be in our safe place. And what Jesus has asked the disciples to do is frightening and scary. We enjoy being in our safe place at church, and we have been pushed out because of COVID and haven't been able to be there for quite some time now. But what's interesting to me is how resilient we have become. How we have found a new way of being sent out as church. Because you know, the church really has never been confined to just a building, nor should it be. We have found now that we can be church by using social media. We have found now that we can be church by being in the streets, wearing our masks, and protesting for civil rights. We have found that we can be church by caring for people who have COVID as doctors and nurses in hospitals and nursing homes. We have found that we can be church by feeding our neighbors when they are hungry. We have found that we can be church when we speak in the public square on behalf of those whose voices have been diminished. And we speak out in the news and in other venues to make sure that their message is heard. We have found that we can be church in many more ways than we ever thought possible. The gospel has always called us to be out of our comfort zone. We are a people who are sent. And this is something that I know to be true, that when we go out and we are willing to let go of our sense of power, and we're willing to be vulnerable when we are with people, when we're willing to just be with, and to not try to change anybody, but to instead listen to their stories and to feel their pain, we are witnessing the creation of God's love that is in us and in the other. And we are giving a thirsty soul a cup of cool water. And my friends, right now, the world is a very thirsty place. We are a people sent out in a time where we can't be in our comfort zone where we hold positions of power. We are a people who have always been sent out even when we had that safe place. But maybe there were times that we chose to hide. And now we've discovered that we can do this, that we can actually be out there and that it's okay, that God actually has our back and we can do this. May God bless us as a people who are sent out. May God guide us with the Spirit to know what to say and where to go and how to be as we address these challenging times. May we declare the good news with boldness and with compassion, with the desire to work for love and peace and justice, uniting ourselves to each other and to our God. Until we meet again.